Hi everyone, welcome back. Fred here at Math and Engineering. We are going to do a quick question on graphing. This is something that you should look for in the earlier years of high school, okay, if you're in grade 9 or 10. We're not going to get too far into depth on the actual graph itself. We're going to just kind of approximate what it looks like, all right, because we haven't really gotten into, increasing or decreasing functions, inflection points, that kind of stuff, even odd functions. We're not really we're not focusing on that kind of stuff. Our main focus here is y and x-intercepts and basic graphing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the question and let's just do it step by step, okay? So we have find the combined function, and we're given two functions, okay? We're given g of x is equal to x minus 4, and we're given f of x is equal to x squared minus x. And the question asks us in A to find the combined function y equals g of x plus f of x. So what do we need to do here? Well, we need to first combine the functions, okay? And it gives us a formula here, okay? It says g of x plus f of x, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add these two functions together, okay? So we have y is equal to g of x, x minus 4, plus f of x, which is x squared minus x. Okay, and as we can see here, we have x minus x, and that will give us, rewriting that, we have y equals x squared minus 4. All right, perfect. So if you don't know what an x squared function looks like right at this point, that's okay. But it's a parabola. Okay, x squared is a parabola, and it just goes upwards, and if we're talking about just x squared, okay, it starts from the origin and it goes up. Okay, but we have this negative 4 here. Okay, and we'll explain what that does in a minute. You should be able to figure it out. And let's take a look at B, the second part of the question. Find the x-intercepts. Okay, so how do we find the x-intercepts? We find x-intercepts by setting y to 0. Okay, so when y is 0, and we have our graph here. Okay, so when y is 0, okay, that is going to give us the values on the x-axis in which this function touches. Okay, or where this function exists. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have our function. Let's rewrite the function. We have y equals x squared minus 4, all right? And let's go ahead and set y to 0. So we have 0 equals x squared minus 4, okay? And if we come over here, we can move the 4 to the other side of the equation, and we have x squared equals 4, and we also have, okay, we come down here, let's finish that. We have x equals, and so I'm going to do this the long way, okay? So if we go ahead and square root both sides, okay? Now, if you'll remember, if you haven't covered this, that's okay, okay, is what we need to do whenever we have a square root here, okay, so for example, we have a square root of 4, right? So we always need to add a plus minus, okay, on the outside of the square root, all right? That's just something that you need to remember, okay? Because, and let me go ahead and just move that over here, all right? Sorry for the arrows. So then we should have x is equal to, okay, plus or minus 2. Okay, so that's just something that you need to do with square roots. You have square root 4, okay, because negative 2 squared or 2 squared will both equal 4. Okay, if you're kind of working backwards, and that's the idea behind the plus or minus. Okay, is that if we had a negative 2 or we had a positive 2 and we squared that, we'd get 4 in both cases. Okay, so we need to consider the plus or minus 2. All right. So those are our x-intercepts. We have two x-intercepts now. Okay, we have negative x and we have positive x. So I'm just going to write the x-intercepts here, okay, and let's just mark them so that we're kind of, all right, putting down the new information that we have as we go along. Now let's do exactly the same thing that we did, but for the y-intercepts, all right? So when we want to find the y-intercept, so where this function touches the y-axis, what do we need to do? Well, we need to set x to 0, and when we set x to 0, we'll be on the y-axis. So let's go ahead and do that now. Back to our function, we have y equals x squared minus 4. All right, let's go ahead and set x to 0, and setting x to 0 here. And we have y equals 0 minus 4, so y equals negative 4. Okay, so we've done what the question has asked so far. We found the x-intercept, we found the y-intercept, and, well, y is negative 4. And I'm just going to put the y-intercept in orange. There we go. All right, and the last part of the question tells us to sketch the graph of the combined functions. So, well, what do we do? And if you remember from, you've probably done y equals mx plus b, straight line graphing. How many points did we need to have to sketch a line? And the answer to that is 2. We needed two points to sketch a line. Okay, when we're sketching a curve, okay, we need at least 3 points, okay, because we can't sketch a 2-point curve. And we have 3 points here, and it's just as simple as just graphing it right now, okay? So like I said, we're not going too far into depth. We just want to basically sketch what this looks like. So let's just go ahead and connect the points, okay? We know that because it's x squared minus 4, okay? Minus 4 is are the lowest point on the graph, because any number that we plug in for x here, whether it be negative or positive, is always going to be a positive number. So that means that this y output will always be higher than negative 4. So the graph will never be below negative 4. And we can just go ahead and connect these points like this. And those arrows just mean that it goes to infinity. And that's it. That's the answer, okay? So there we go. We sketched the graph, we found the intercepts, we combined the functions, and hopefully that question kind of gave you a little bit more basis in terms of how to apply x and y intercepts, and how to sketch a basic quadratic function. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.